Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurazo here, coming at you guys with a King's Court Market Watch. I normally don't do this. The last time I did this was for Toon Chaos because just like this set, there is a lot to go over and I can't fit it into one Market Watch, so it needs its own separate video, especially because the collector's rares are actually made for collectors, so I have to go in depth, tell you guys what I think of every collector's rare, if you should pick it up, what price you guys should, and that's kind of what this video is going to detail. So if you guys have been eagerly waiting, because a lot of you guys have been asking for this, make sure to smash that like button. Can we get 65 likes on this video? That would be awesome. If you guys are not subscribed, hopefully today's day earn your subscription. We passed the 1550 mark, which is awesome. I'm going to try to get to 1600 by probably the end of August here, but I'm aiming for 2,000 subs by the end of the year, so hopefully we get that. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, like what I recommend here, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no initial cost to you. Consider being a YouTube channel member. And check out all my socials in the description below. On my Instagram, I actually show a lot of cards I pick up and collections and all that. So go check that out. And Twitter is, But yeah, we're going to get right to it. So let's go with the Secret Rare God cards and the Ultra Rare God cards really quickly before we get into any collector's rares. So right over here, we see Slifer as the max one, about $500 here. But that's from no sales. It's actually $620 here. And that is what it's selling at right here. This is a very sought after card because a lot of people have gotten kind of sick and tired of Raw. They've been pushing a lot of Raw in these sets, and we have a Ghost Rare Raw, unlike Obelisk and Slifer, which I assume we're going to get Ghost Rares of them eventually. If we don't, I don't even know what to say. And I look at the Secret Rare Raw here, which is about 420, and it's not that I think this is a bad price for a Secret Rare Raw. However, for specifically this card, why would you not put this money into, say, 2 Ghost Rares? This set's hot and fresh, but I believe Legendary Duelist, I forgot exactly which one it was called, but with Merrick, you could get 2 Ghost Rares of this, and the Ghost Rares are now heading up towards the $300-400 mark. So if you decide to get this, that's okay. But I think the Ghost Rares are a lot better, especially because since the Ghost Rares are moving up more rapidly and a lot of people prefer those, if you do want a Secret and you spend the money that you would here for 2 Ghost Rares, you can end up selling a Ghost Rare for almost all, if not more, than the money it is for a Secret Rare at the time, say a couple months into the future, and have a spare Ghost Raw. So I really wouldn't mess with this right now. And as for Obelisk here, he's about 420, so not too bad here for him. So 2 of them are about 420, the other one's 600. I'm not really too sure why he's low, but I feel like he's the next one to get the Ghost Rare out of Slifer. Not really too sure why per se, but these God cards will go up over time. If you could get them for a better deal, I would definitely grab them, but I definitely think they're a lot of money, and I would personally rather, if you're spending, say, $400-500, I would just kind of rather go up and get a sealed case of King's Court, because when these cards go up, people are going to buy more King's Court, and King's Court's going to go up, right? Having sealed boxes to sell most likely is going to net you a lot more money than maybe just choosing one of these at random. Unless you want to go for raw, then I would do the ghost thing that I said. So I would pass up on these prices just because investing on a case is way better. If they were lower or you could get steal on it, then definitely consider it, but we're going to get right into the other cards. Actually, forgot the Ultra Rares. Ultra Rares are about 75s, 90s across the board. It's not like these are bad. I can see them going up to 150-ish, 200, but I would rather get some of the collector's rares in this set, especially since a lot of the collectors, while yeah, sure, the Ultra Rares are awesome, they're cool, they have the secret rares right here that are worth way more. They'd rather get this, right? Even though this is way cheaper. I would monitor these prices, however, because I think they're going to go maybe down to 50, and maybe then you could start looking at them, but I wouldn't really mess with the Ultras. So we're going to go right down the list here. We're going to start with Reinforcement of the Army, about $119. People already try to get this bought out and it failed. Personally, this is not only a good legacy card, but is one of the best collector's rares in the set, meaning that you can also use it in duels. It's the highest rarity of Rota you could use in most duels. So the reason why I say most duels is because a lot of people will still consider Hobby League Rota as the highest rarity, as do I. So that copy, which also got kind of bought out, you're only going to be able to use that in GOAT format, and I heard that you could stack that. However, with double sleeving, I don't think Hobby League is an issue anymore. However, like everyone knows here, that's been kind of known about Hobby Leagues. Konami really doesn't like it because of the whole upper deck situation, so personally, I'm going to focus on this rarity. $119 for this road is not bad, because I always thought this would be $150 plus. If you get it for any cheaper, and I recommend this for this card, definitely if you get this for 100, I don't think it's too bad actually at 120. Would I get it? You know, it could only probably go up from here. I mean, maybe it could go to 100, maybe 90, but I feel like that if it goes to like about a bill, a lot of people are gonna be like, hey, you know, I definitely would want a collector's rare Rota for a bill because you could use Rota until the dawn of time, like until Yu-Gi-Oh ends and even after that. So it's definitely not bad here. Number F0, Utopia Draco Future Collector's Rare. Now, this is the only printing and the highest rarity of this card. Being about $113, a lot of people were waiting for this. However, a lot of people playing the deck really wanted spent all their money on the Ultra because it's a lot cheaper. A lot of people who want to play these Utopia decks tend to be casuals, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of like the whole Astral Pack Utopia thing, and this is what I told people. A lot of people bottom up is like, oh, all the Utopia fanboys are going to get them. The collectors got them at pre-sales, at least a good portion of them, because pre-sale Utopia was actually quite cheap. Uh, and then they got them at like 300s, right? They got their one copy, however, and they were done. A lot of people are holding them, and most people didn't really have a demand for that card until like a year later as it slowly went up. Number F0, I think is going to be the same. I think you can sleep on this card for now and spend your money elsewhere. It's not that this is a bad card per se. It's just there's better cards you can get for this around this price. Like, I would definitely rather grab the Rota than the F0. I'll tell you that. Lightning Storm. Now, this is something that I actually really like here. It is, not only are we not too sure if we're going to see another reprint of Lightning Storm, but if the Ultras go up to something crazy, which I believe they actually already are. We're actually going to check very quickly here. Lightning Storms. Yeah, they're about 38, 39, and they're so here. If they decide to go up, the collector's rares are going to go up as well. I think that if you are looking for a Lightning Storm at very high rarity, I would not get a Starlight rare anymore, especially because they're quite some money. You could get a place of this for a lot cheaper, and yes, you're spending $300 on Lightning Storms, but at least this is probably going to hold its value. I don't see it dipping below 100 here. And we're actually going to look at what it bottoms out to here. Bottoms out to about 121. So yeah, 105, 110 here. It gets a little more expensive here, and they are selling about every single day for this price. I think if you're going to get this card, it's good, but I would try to get a place of this card, because even if you change your mind and you don't want these or you want a cheaper version, I think these could go 200, and then you could let them go get a cheaper version of Lightning Storm, which we could have another reprint by that time as well. That's even cheaper than $40. And then you could put the rest of that money into, say, an upcoming case, you know, another collector's rare. You guys get the point. I think it's definitely not that bad. I will say, though, I kind of want to see how Ulti Lightning Storm looked, but it is what it is. King's Court Seal, by the way, is about $78, $79. I am going to go over this as well. I highly, highly recommend that you guys get Seal product of King's Court. Like, I really cannot stress it enough. Especially because, let's look at the second page here. Bombs up to about 95. Yeah, I would definitely get your sealed while you can. I think sealed is going to go up like crazy here. Now let's go to the second page over here of King's Court, which, if you guys don't know, by the way, while I go there, TCG players having this like little glitch where like when you go view all versions or backspace, sometimes you just go to like the highest thing TCG player has. So second page here, Arcana Triumph Joker Collector's Rare, $73. I don't think this is bad for her, and she's definitely, you know, what I believe Queen's Knight is the most sought after card, and this is kind of after her per se. So I think this isn't a bad collector for 73. She could go down, however, to 50, but the thing is, I don't think so because we have 13 listings. That's kind of low here. Like, a lot of the other collector's rares as you see have like, you know, 50, 100, something along those lines. This has 13. And that kind of scares me. So that kind of makes me think to myself, this could go up to 100 before it drops. Would I grab this collector rare? If you want it, definitely grab it. Because when there's 13 listings of a collector's rare, and it is not meta relevant, because this card is not, okay, backspace does not want to work here. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, if there's 13 listings of a collector rares that's not meta, you need to go in on it. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. Rescue Rabbit. And we are back. So for Rescue Rabbit Collector's Rare, we also have to look at the Secret Rare here. Now, Collector's Rares are about $63, but Secret Rares are actually almost the same amount, because 50 for Light Play, which isn't too bad, it's an old Photon Shockwave card. But first and near mint are going to run you about 66 from a new seller, $70, well, 68 to 70 bucks here for Secret Rares. So you gotta have this throw up where, they're about the same money. Which one's going to go up higher? Well, the Secret Rare has 10 years on it. The collector's rares has maybe a month. No, not even a month. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks. On this one. So I'm not really too sure if collector's rares is the way to go with Rescue Rabbit because yes, a lot of people are hyped up for it. It was a great card to have, all that. The issue is that the secret rare is just the better choice. So if you have a collector's rare, I would just sell it, buy a secret rare. Personally, if these ever start to go up, then maybe you could reinvest into these. But these could even go down. That's kind of the big issue with these collector's rares. So let's go see the rest of King's Court here. Joker's Knight. Now, Joker's Knight is actually a very undervalued collector's rare. Now, $57. This card's actually quite generic. Now, I'm going to read to you guys what this actually does. So, by the way, shout out to the guy who is selling a mob play for literally 50 cents lower. Like, that's hilarious to me. Then, damn it. You can send one Queen's Knight, King's Knight, Jack's Knight from your deck to the graveyard. You special summon this card from your hand. So it's a level 5 light. So that means access to Pleiades, Cyber Dragons can also play this since it's a level 5 light. And a lot of other decks are going to be able to use this engine as you go further here. But you special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, the card becomes the set monster's name until the end phase, which is important in the deck, but not important if you're playing outside of it. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other light warrior monster in your graveyard. AK whatever you just sent, like the King's Knight, all that. Shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, add this card to your hand. You can only use each effective Joker's Knight once per turn. So basically, what this is it's a free starter / extender. You don't have to use your normal summon 4, and is a level 5 light. So that means that you could go into rank 5s depending on the deck you're playing, or this is a generic 2000 attack beat stick that you could just link off or use to get over something problematic. You guys get the point. Especially if you had 100 more attack, that'd be really nice. Because a lot of weird monsters are like Floodgates, like for example in Rockstun, are like 2k defense. So it's a little weird. I bet that interaction is going to happen. But this card could become very meta relevant because, number one, a Foolish Burial is a card. Second, and it's a free starter / extender that you could keep doing every single turn. And that's what's really, really good about this card. I would grab a playset of this personally. I see these going up to 150 per eventually, especially because it also has that collectability and value along with this is a beautiful, gorgeous collector rare. In the next month or two, I'm probably going to have this on 5 cards out of your trade, but I really am because I really want to see where this is going to go. But yeah, and they're selling here going up to 60. I would definitely not sleep on this card. Let's see what the rest of this is. So, Utopia. So, I got mine for 60, and I thought it was going to bomb out there. It looks like it basically is bombing out at 60. Would I get the Collector's Rare? Yes. Yes, there is the Astral, but this is way cheaper than the Astral Rare because this is like, what's to say? You could get like, not even a playset. You could get like 4 copies of this for less than, until not including taxes, less than 4 copies for half of what you, well, you get 4 copies for less than half of what you spent. Should have worded myself a little better there. This card, yes, it's not the highest rarity, and collectors aren't going to want this one as much, but the issue is with this card, and what people aren't seeing, is since this is going to go up eventually and move, what you do is if you don't want this rarity, even if you don't like this card or whatever, you get a playset, you can move them for 120, and guess what? That's 360, you spent 180, you doubled your money, and you actually got some king stuff, shit, no pun intended here. That's why I would get number 39, Utopia Astral. It's very cheap, too. I don't really see it lowering. Rivalry of Warlords. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little biased towards this card because I actually really like that they put this in. Just personally for me, it's a very good floodgate. Each player can only control one type of monster. Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. It just helps with certain decks here. As a floodgate, they're like 54. Like, people know this has value. If the playsets were, when I made this video, because I did see them at 38s for a bit, if they were 35 to 38, I would highly recommend them, especially if you get like a playset for 90. I think that's really, really good. However, seeing these, also, I kind of like the background because it kind of reminds me of the four Hokage statue in the back, if you guys see right here. So it's another reason I really like this. But seeing them at, plus no one's putting up a playset, which kind of bothers me. You know, after this guy's gone for 55, 56s here, they're going up to 57, 60s. I don't know if I would get this at 60 because it's not the time yet. I think I'd probably pass. Like, if they go down to 40, which they should be, I'm cool with it, but yeah. Queen's Knight, we're going to get rid of, oh, thank God they're all here. So 40, 47, 55 roughly. Would I grab these? If you're a collector and you want them, you go grab them. If not, I probably won't because, yeah, you could buy one of these and just hold on to them, but like spend a little more and you could get Utopia that's going to go up. Spend a little more, you're going to get Joker. In fact, I would just really grab Joker's Knights. Like, if you just want these for yourself, I think these aren't bad oddly priced, but that's the only reason I would probably get them. We have some more collector's rares, but first, Ultra from King's Court, Lightning Storm at 40. If you need this to play in the meta, that's good, but here's what I would probably see. I would wait until the tins are revealed, and if you could get on that fast, if Lightning Storm's not in there, buy these, because I think it's going to go up if they're not in the tins, but if they are in the tins, they're probably going to go a little further down. Joker's Straight Collector's Rare, $35. Like, this is very cheap for a Collector's Rare spell. And especially something that's like as collectible as this used in the deck. I think this is very good. I mean, we see stuff like Tomb Bookmark Collector's Rares going up as well to like 70s when Collector's Rares were on 35s. So this can go up in about a year. I'm not saying you have to be in a rush on it, but eventually if you want to pick one copy up, that one's okay. Imperial Bower at like 30. This card's not too bad either. For $30, would I grab one? Probably. Gillet Gearfried, the magical still that. Listen, I don't get how this is below $30. Like, it bothers me. It really does. 27 bucks. Personally, I think this is such a steal. Because you can't really compare it to any other real collector's rare. I think this is going to go up and a good collectible card to have, especially if it's ever used generically, which Joker Straight will not be. This most likely will not be, but if at least since it takes 2 warriors, it can technically pop up. In fact, I'll read you guys the card again, just in case for those who don't know. It's just 2 warriors with a different attribute. Whenever a card or effect is activated that targets this card, you can negate the effect if you do destroy 1 card on the field. This card was fusion summoned only using monsters on the field as a material. It could make a second attack during each battle phase. And then once it's returned, if it battles an opponent's monster, as a quick effect, you can banish a spell card from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to half its current defense until the end of the turn. So it's like kind of weird how it banishes spells. But it basically, if you could put it on the field, like you could super poly it, it basically just protects itself, but your opponent's not going to run into this. Right, which kind of sucks. Like, why would they target if they know you're going to negate it and then destroy a card on the field? It just kind of protects itself. Like, this should have been once per turn as a quick effect. When your opponent activates a card that targets at least one of your cards, like something like that. That's kind of my issue. It is pretty much a collectible card. Like, it is usable technically, but it's going to be so hard. I just want to have faith in this card. Number F-Zeros for 21. If you want to play the deck or grab this, it's not bad, but 131 listings, and this is going further down. I would just keep an eye on this card. If it goes from 20 to like 23, 24, grab your copy, but if it's going to stay at like 21, 22 and then slowly creep more down, I would wait. Hyper Galaxy. You guys know how I feel about galaxies. Yeah, no. Joker's Knight Ultras are $15. See, that's like the thing. You get a playset or a collector's rare, and people know this card has a lot of value. So I don't know why the collector's rare is not at least $80. That's kind of odd to me. Definitely grab these. Joker Straight, very no, never mind. $2.99 shipping. $10. That's okay. Bowers at like 10s. Like, I feel like if you really like the deck, I feel like I just get collector's rares. Like, however, Arcana Triumph, Joker here at 103. Now, collector's rares are going to the moon. Ultras are going to be worth some money as well. This is actually quite cheap, being about $3.70, close to $4. I would definitely grab a playset. I think this is a very good card to actually grab. Gillets are there's 130 listings. I mentioned this at 150. Looks like they're about 2. Well, yeah, 17. Well, they're about $2-ish here. It's gonna take a while for this card to move, but it's very collectible. Dolka is at about $1.17, $1.80. I will keep an eye out on this, honestly, because a lot of people, here's the thing about people who like to play dinosaurs, is one thing, a small thing happens to their deck. Maybe it's somewhat significant. They just don't want to even try the deck in the next format. They just give up. Like, Dino players love to give up easy. But Dolkas, I think this is not a bad investment since this is the cheapest version of Dolka we have. And it's $1. It's not a bad penny stock. Burning Soul, it's like $1. Like, it's always going to be super cheap. Thundering Summon. Now we get to like the super rares here. I would grab your World Legacy Guard Dragons. Because if dragons are ever heavily used again, and as slowly and surely as they will be, yeah, I could see this card going up to like $10. Morph King Style. I mean, this is like a cute penny stock. Like, this is something. Here's what I would recommend for like the cheap ultra rares here. All right, I'm gonna clump this one and Burning Soul together. If you're buying something from a seller and you need to hit shipping, or you just want to look if they have, like, if let's say you have a $10 order and they have like 3 of these for like say 50 cents, not bad to grab them, but they're not. I don't know. I feel like they're just throw-ins at this point. Like they're not really gonna go up. It's gonna take way too long. And that's kind of it for King's Court here. So what I want to know in the comment section below is, what did you guys think of this market watch? What do you guys think of my choices on King's Court? I think this is a great set, by the way. I probably rate it like an 8 out of 10. If you guys could smash that like button as well, that would be awesome. And subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.